15% on your exams.
Expensive lift stations.
Good point. Yeah, the gentleman at C, yeah.
Tyler wasn't sure if he was gonna wait or he had a conflict. I'm gonna give it
Oh,
about 1
without a
minute,
doubt.
and I'm gonna ask you to step in as chair.
What?
Well, somebody's got to do this.
Get Eileen to do it. She knows.
Oh, she can't, because we have an award.
Oh,
Oh, it's just like, everybody gets to step in.
okay, great. Oh, good. So people with more responsibility than me.
Occurring like I thought it was occurring.
So, so it's time to start, and Tyler is getting here as soon as he can. But I'm gonna go ahead and start the meeting on his behalf, and Jeff Flanagan is chair right now, but he's conserving his voice. So on behalf of both of them, let's go ahead and do a round of introductions, if we could, please. Lano, could you start?
I'm Lana Cohen. I'm a UI watershed researcher.
And I'm Eileen McCall, and this is my last meeting as a city council member, but I'm hoping to join the stakeholder engagement group and remain involved because I have a heavy investment in this in a lot of different ways. And I love working with all of you. And we're gonna need that voice in Pullman as we go forward with our projects. And everyone, please have a cookie.
Ah, thank
Please have a
you.
cookie. I do not want to take those home.
I think it's okay.
Rusty Vineyard, Director of Facilities, University of Idaho.
Mark Story, Whitman County Public Works Director.
Jake Garinger, Special Assistant, North Idaho Liaison and Governor Little's office.
Oh, I'm sorry I missed your call.
No, good, thank you.
I'm gonna
Got me the info I needed.
how to spell your name before you leave, please, if I could.
David Hall, longtime Latah resident.
Robin Demmer, Alpha Science and Engineering.
Ken Clark, Nespers Drive, Water Resources.
Fletcher,
And I'm Mike Falpel with PBAC.
Do you want to let those things?
People on the line, Michelle?
Yeah, hello, Michelle Richmond from Idaho Department of Water Resources in Coeur d'Alene.
Patrick?
Hi, Patrick Cabbage with the Washington State Department of Ecology's Water Resources Program.
And Jeff?
Jeff Lanigan, Associate Director of Utilities for WSU.
And Jeff is the vice chair, and Steve?
Steve Robichon, PBAC Technical Advisor.
Thanks all. Eileen touched on it. Eileen has been like super faithful, and I have only been here 6 months, and I've never been to any PBAC thing when Eileen wasn't there. She's put a lot of hours and effort into this. And I just want to say that. And if, you know, Tyler's better at words than I am, as are most people. But I appreciate you.
Thank you, Mike.
And I don't know if anybody else wants to say anything. But
Oh, my goodness.
there is a PBAC
Oh, how
mug.
wonderful. Thank you.
And it's the thing, this is a special mug, and I don't know how it works exactly, and I know there's a lot of engineers.
It's automatically
Yeah, you can
refills with
open it.
water, yeah.
No, but it somehow, it can keep hot things hot, and it can also keep cold things cold. And I don't know how that works, but this is that kind of mug. And I hope it serves you well.
It certainly will. Thank
Whether
you.
it's hot or
Thank
cold
you.
beverages, it'll work.
Yep, and I apologize. I do have to leave at 3 today because I have another exit engagement.
Well, we appreciate you, so thank you, Eileen.
Thank you. Thank all of you.
As
Yeah.
a long-term member of PBAC, I would mirror that. It's been a pleasure having Eileen as part of our group. I hope to see you at more engagements.
Yes, I will be there.
So thank you very
I
much.
will be there.
You will, for now, you will go on the other super secret email list. It's not super secret, but to make sure that you get everything.
Just keep me in the loop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
So, and
We'll
I'll,
save you a seat.
Tyler, we're
Cookie.
saying nice things about Eileen.
Yeah, so you better
Oh,
better
man.
run and hide.
Yeah, I better go. I got nothing. I'm just kidding. Oh, did I miss the Eileen tribute portion of the meeting?
You're catching the tail end.
All right,
You still get a chance if you're quick.
perfect. Apologize all. I had another meeting that I was having to catch up from. Whew. We're gonna miss you.
I'll be here.
Yeah,
I'll be in the gallery. if
Oh,
nothing
good.
else. Or
Well-
find some other spot for me. I'll be there. There is no more important issue,
yeah.
period.
It is the most important issue.
I don't know how your email works, but if you, they can provide a different one. If you do that, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay.
Well, Eileen, genuinely and sincerely on behalf of PBAC, thank you. You've been a stalwart. You've helped guide this thing. And as you said, there's no more important issue we could be working on in our communities. And you've been absolutely an anchor working through this, and we really appreciated your leadership.
Thank you, Tom.
All right.
You're here.
Is that all the further we are?
That's where we are.
Okay.
We're at the,
Have we done introductions?
we have,
Okay.
oh, and this is Tyler.
I'm Tyler Palmer, City of Moscow, current PBAC chair. You are?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, so let us move on then to our approval. Let's see, do we have a quorum?
Hey, Tyler and Mike. Sorry I'm late. It's Kara.
Oh, hi, Kara.
Hey, Kara.
I had something I just had to get to, but I'm here.
Okay, great. We're happy to have you. So I guess, let's see, we've got Kara, we got Jeff,
Oh, we
we
have.
got Russ. Yeah, we got a quorum.
Yeah.
All right, so with that, I would entertain a motion for the approval of the November 16th minutes.
Motion to approve.
I've got a motion by Lana, count yours as a second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, hearing none, we will have the motion stand as approved for November 16th meeting. Any public comments for items not on today's agenda? All right, hearing none, don't have any unfinished business that we're gonna go through today. Our new business and presentations and discussion are pretty light today, so we're gonna have a relatively quick December meeting, which is not abnormal for us, but we do have a few things that we would like to talk about today. And so that gets us to number 7, which I think we'll have the bulk of our discussion on our agenda item number 7 today, which is our subcommittee reports. The first item on that is the interagency agreement and bylaws. As you all know, we sent out a memorandum of agreement, which extended the terms of our current agreement 1 year from August to this coming August to give us time to finalize the updates on a new agreement and cycle that through the respective entities so that we can get a new agreement in place. We so far have the City of Pullman signature, City of Moscow is signed. I believe I saw that contact had been made with the University of Idaho. And I got a response, and Brian Foisey's given the go-ahead to add a signature to policy, and good to go. Perfect, so we got U of I. We just need to get you the actual signed documentation. Perfect, yeah, if you can get that to Mike. And so then we've just got WSU, Whitman and Lake.
This was on the agenda Monday and I know they approved it.
Perfect.
Haven't seen it yet.
Okay, so we got Whitman. Let's see, Lake County, I don't think we have any Lake County reps here. So we'll follow back up with Lake County, and that'll just leave, Jeff, do you know where WSU is at with the process?
I do not. I'll have to check.
Okay, all right, so the second piece of that is really mobilizing. We identified members of for a work group to work on the updates. Mike is going to be scheduling an initial meeting to start that process. We really do need to have a draft to start distributing in March, so that we can have ample time for legal departments to review, and then we can process that back through, get it through all of the council processes or whatever the different approval mechanisms for each entity are, and get it approved on our end. So our goal is to have by March to have that initial draft ready for distribution. Mike, anything else on that we need to comment on?
I think that's it. I'll follow up as necessary and, you know, we need the signed one.
Yeah,
But, looks like we're on track to be in good shape on that.
perfect. Does anyone have any comments or questions about that? Okay. I'm confident that we can get this hammered out. I think we have pretty broad agreement on what needed to be updated in that agreement. And so I think it's just a matter of wordsmithing the thing and getting it out. All right, so that brings us to budget report.
Not a whole lot of new action on the budget front from the standpoint of still a few outstanding invoices from Layton Whitman and WSU from the standpoint of, I think, have we received funds from those individuals?
Not yet.
Okay,
Well, we did from Whitman, but it's
Yep.
being redone.
it's being redone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really on that front, some upcoming expenses coming through the AmeriCorps and the new employee, I guess, if you will.
That'll be a payment to PCEI,
Yep.
who is doing AmeriCorps on our behalf.
And we're just.
I don't know the schedule for that, but that's in its own cost center.
You got it.
Yep.
And other than processing some general invoices and what have you, everything looks really good.
Okay,
So nothing new to report as far as anything outstanding.
great. Mike, do you have anything else on the budget?
I don't.
Okay. The communication subcommittee, we are gonna be working to get a meeting on the agenda. This time of year is a little bit tough, but we will get that going. So a real update that I'm looking forward to is our technical subcommittee. I know they met, I think earlier today, the technical
Just a while ago.
subcommittee met. So, who's taking the lead on that one?
Jeff? No,
Well, we can co-take the lead.
Yeah.
Jeff Langman is a professor of something to do with hydrology,
biogeochemistry,
biogeochemistry.
but thank you.
Here, who a lot of the folks know, and he's been involved with PBAC for a long time, and he led a discussion on pretty cool stuff to identify best areas for passive aquifer recharge within the basin. And he's indicated it was going to be a 5-minute presentation, and it was a full hour, and it's not done yet. But it's promising. And where did we leave it?
I think we left it with talking to the whole group about whether we want to potentially ask him to submit a proposal to do this, whether we think it's worthwhile to, basically his project would help map out the fast recharge zones along the basin margin. And so PBAC needs to decide whether that's something we want to know. And then, yeah, and then I think, then we can ask him to submit an actual proposal if he's willing.
So does the group want him to do that, I guess?
So, yeah, I mean, I think maybe, so if I understand correctly, there's more presentation, there's more data that he has to cover with the technical subcommittee.
No, I think we actually covered it. There was a good discussion. Yeah, with all of there were a lot of questions, and Kara and Steve can
Kara or Steve,
pipe in here if they
I
want.
want to say something. It looks like Patrick has a question as well. Steve?
Yeah, I'll weigh in. I think it's a promising project. It's a way to try to identify at a finer resolution, hopefully, areas of recharge. And PBAC, those of you that go to sleep reading the groundwater management plan are perfectly familiar with the fact that one of PBAC's charters is to conduct research, and you've kind of been moving a little bit away from the research end of things, but we still have opportunities for research. And Jeff is probably the primary opportunity for research, and he's been successful at everything that he's done in the past. So I would recommend asking Jeff to provide a proposal that he would then provide, and you can look at more thoroughly and decide whether or not you want to move forward with it.
Kara, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, I agree with what Steve's saying. Obviously, the rest of the group doesn't entirely know what we're talking about context wise, but and I think we could work with Jeff to kind of establish, we bounced around a lot of questions and a lot of ideas. I think we could focus on the Moscow Mountain Basin front. There might also be some things that we could do in downstream lower land reaches. But it would basically be sampling different, I don't even know. And I don't think we really settled exactly on what it would be. There's different elements. I don't even know what the right word is, that could be used to kind of find relative age of water, which you could kind of then link back to where is water moving faster. So what zones are more likely for recharge to occur more actively or quicker. It sounded promising to me. We just we wanted to make sure that the group was on board, so we didn't ask Jeff to spend time doing something that people didn't feel good about. But I think it would be worthwhile. He has different ideas on ways you could go about it. So I think the technical subcommittee could work with him, have conversations with other folks as needed to determine exactly how it is that we would do that. He had newer age concepts and then reverting back to more methods that have been used more regularly. So I think that the committee could work with him on that, but I think asking him to put some kind of proposal together to start with would be wise.
Patrick, did you have something to add?
Yeah, well, I've got loads of questions and some of them may be premature. If I understand right, this is just he basically brought the proposal to do the research. Does he have any, initial thoughts on, presumably we're looking at recharging the basalts, whether or not, he has thoughts on whether to be recharging the Wanapum, the Grand Ronde, or both. And that's probably my first question. The rest of it probably be questions for Jeff directly. I have lots of questions, lots of thoughts, and I'm very curious if the committee decides to go forward with it.
So this is for the,
Focus is Grand Ronde.
yeah, it's specifically for the interbedded sediments that are the fast lateral recharge to the deep aquifer.
And I guess from my perspective, this seems like, perhaps the proper mechanism to bring this forward to the full committee would be for the technical committee to maybe flesh out a recommendation and then come with Jeff with a presentation to the full committee of what's being proposed, so that as the full committee can have a little bit more context before we take any action. It sounds promising, and I think that passive recharge would be fantastic if we find that there are ways that we can do that. I think that it would be one of our top priorities if we find that there are efficient ways to do passive recharge. So I'm certainly in favor, and I would assume that the committee would likely be, but I think it would probably be nice for us just to have a more formal presentation of it and have the technical committee with a recommendation, have Jeff here to field questions from the full committee, and then we could make a more informed decision. Any thoughts on that?
He'll be out of state, but he's probably available virtually, but it's hard to predict his schedule right now.
This sort of, I'm sort of looping my thoughts through the communications subcommittee, is that these are the kind of questions that people feel we're not asking. And we know we are, and we know we have some data, and we know there's more data out there to be gathered. It's just a question of how we go about that. But in terms of those buzzwords, like Grand Ronde, recharge, those are the things we need to be able to say, yes, we're working on it. Yes, we're gathering data. Because what I still keep hearing over and over and over again is, we don't know anything about what's down there, and we don't know anything with what's happening down there, and it's a closed system, and nothing's ever recharging at all. So this provides us with vocabulary to go out into the communities as we go work into that outreach program to say, X project is doing this, and we're looking at, like I say, all those buzzwords. Really, really valuable.
Any other thoughts on this?
So I would just add, my interpretation was this would be similar to other projects that Jeff Langman has done with us, where, he puts together a proposal, oversees the work, but has a grad student or somebody who's working on it. in no way, what we would be discussing today would just be really asking him to put that proposal together like we've done in the past. You know, he could come and we could present that proposal and have a lot more discussion before any actual action or money or anything would be approved of to do anything. So just kind of reiterating that. And then if Patrick in particular has a real interest in this, I personally don't see any reason if he wasn't available that we couldn't invite him to join that technical meeting or technical committee or anyone who really is interested in it. I mean, however many minds and people around it, I would welcome. That's just.
Yeah, on the ecology side, I would recommend myself and Chris Beard. If you let us know when that discussion might happen or for further discussions, I can't speak for IDWR whether or not they have any interest, but for the ecology side, definitely both of us.
Great. Ken, did you have something?
Yeah, so as a new member of the technical committee, and I appreciate the opportunity to say something about this, but I just wanted to add some context and just say that the whole thrust of his research was to look at PFAS within groundwater systems, and so there was also some conversation about whether or not that information would be public and whether people would want to reveal the concentrations of PFAS. And he did say there were other elements that could be looked at, such as tritium isotopes and those types of more traditional methodologies. So just to provide context, there are multiple pathways of investigation for this. He was really hitting on PFAS because it hadn't been done before and interested. Just for context.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, so with that, yeah, I think the best route for us is if the technical committee wants to, because the real idea of our subcommittees is for them to provide recommendations to the broader committee. And so if the technical committee wants to take a vote as a committee and as a subcommittee and provide a recommendation to the broader committee, I think there's an interest from us for sure. And so that would be enough. If that's enough, that Jeff, it would motivate Jeff to put that together, and the proposal can come back with a recommendation and then the opportunity for questioning so that we can flesh out our idea of what's formally being proposed. I think that would be helpful. Anything else on that? Does that give you guys enough direction for the subcommittee?
How about if I follow up with you?
Yep.
And then you and I will.
Yep.
So I don't just say something without somebody else looking at it.
Okay.
Yep.
And Patrick, we'll make sure that you all are invited. Yeah, we would love the eyeballs on it for that technical committee. That would be helpful. The more eyeballs we can get on our technical side, the better.
Fantastic. And I would just throw out to Michelle to see if she wants Daniel or somebody else from IDWR involved in those conversations.
Yeah, please loop us in too.
Okay, we certainly will. Thanks, Michelle. All right, that's great. That's good progress. Appreciate everybody's work on that and the technical committee's work. Any other items from the technical committee that we need to discuss?
That took the whole hour.
That's all we did today.
Okay, that's a worthwhile thing to do.
When do we get to this?
Oh, yeah, I brought the stream gauge back.
Yeah, so thank you.
Yeah. It was a lovely office sculpture decoration. I'm gonna miss it.
It's a good one.
Okay, in other reports and announcements, we did have what I felt was a very productive meeting. We were hosted by the Nez Perce tribal leadership. The full tribal council was there. Ken was there, myself, Michael, Jeff was there along with us. They had great questions. The tribal council is very well versed in the water issues in the area. I felt like it was a very productive meeting. We had a good conversation. It was a long meeting. We spent a lot of time. We had a good conversation. A lot of the council members had very good questions for us. They'd obviously done their homework, and they had a lot of very insightful questions about our water alternatives, the impacts of the alternatives, how those may involve or not some of the tribal interests in the basin. So what we made some commitments to the tribe. They expressed a real interest in continued collaboration and communication on this. And so we welcome Ken to our research or technical subcommittee. We really appreciate your participation on that. I think that'll be very helpful. And using that as a mechanism to keep them involved as we technically move through things. And then we've also committed to at least an annual formal update with the tribal council. So PBAC leadership will go down, meet with the tribal council at least annually. And then if there's any other significant steps or occurrences, then we will go down to, we will initiate contact. And then at any time that the tribal council would like communication on any topic, they can reach out to us and we'll head down and have that discussion. Ken, anything else, anything you'd like to comment on from that meeting? Any thoughts or insights from that?
No, I just, I know that the council really appreciated the visit from PBAC, and I thought you guys acquitted yourself very well. We're very knowledgeable and responsive and open to their ideas. And as you can see, there is a diversity of opinion among the council. It is not a unity of thought. We did brief them before the meeting, obviously. And yeah, they were well prepared, and we've been talking about this issue for a long time, and the parallel track of adjudication and the aquifer. It's happening up here, but I think they really appreciated the visit and had really good feedback to us about the visit and encouraged us to remain engaged.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Any questions about that? I think it was good to initiate a more formal interaction, and we really appreciated their openness to that. So we will continue to work with that. Mike's reached back out, and we'll keep those lines of communication open. And if there's ever anything that they're interested in hearing from us directly, we're more than happy to come down. All right. AmeriCorps, we talked a little bit about this, but give a few more details about this, Mike.
We have some good candidates. Paul and I will be conducting interviews on Monday. And if all goes well, who knows, maybe we'll have our person in place for the January meeting. Lana knows one of the candidates and has spoken highly of that person.
I don't know her that well,
Well,
but yes.
Lana has vouched for her. She has
Knowledge is knowledge.
admitted.
She gave a CYA statement.
Let me rephrase that. Lana has indicated that to the best of her knowledge, this candidate has the knowledge and skills to perform the functions of this position.
Well done, Mike.
Thank you. That's what I meant to say.
Suddenly felt on the hook or something.
So we have two good candidates and we're on track for that. And I feel good about it. I was just talking to Kelly this morning about some more ways we could utilize this for water conservation in Lake County.
So just as a reminder, this is the money that Lake County contributed through PBAC with the express purpose of the implementation of a conservation program in the county, which obviously with the county not owning a water system, that really relies heavily on education being a real primary source of outreach to the county residents, because by and large, they're on their own wells. And so it's relying on education. And so that was a really great contribution to have come in from Lake County, and we want to put that to good use. And so you may recall, we recently voted to utilize PCEI as a administrative entity to help us hire an AmeriCorps volunteer to initiate that program. So yeah, we're excited. I think it's a good route for us. Kelly Cooper, who many of you know that works for us, started as an AmeriCorps volunteer and has done really great work. And I just as a sort of a follow on to that, we are continuing our coordination work with the city of Pullman as we work toward the basin-wide water conservation plan with the cities trying to get ourselves aligned initially. And we have a really good communication plan that we formalized in a meeting. Was that Kara last week before, something like that, to do the outreach on we're kicking off Earth Month in April with the conservation competition between the mayors through the Wyland process. And so that'll be really fun. They've got some really fun communication that they'll have coming out to really start that message of alignment between the municipalities on water conservation. So we're really excited to get that going. Okay, any questions about that, about the AmeriCorps position or anything related to that? Okay, we are going to be working to set up as we've worked our way through. We're trying to be more intentional about our meetings with our participating entities. Did we have someone with something?
No,
Jeff
there was
had
two.
put in the chat box that the MOU is with the VP for signature.
Perfect. Cool. Thanks, Jeff. And so as we're working to, really, I mean, we're picking up steam and there's important work going on. And we want to assure that we have good coordination with our participating entities. This is largely, some of the fruits of this have been our recent meeting with the Nez Perce. And we are going to be doing some further outreach and just some more follow-up with WDOE, with IDWR, just to continue those conversations. And so we've had some fruitful strategy meetings on making sure that we're appropriately communicating out. And so Patrick, we'll be reaching out to you all shortly to try and formalize some meetings with WDOE, just so we can come out and have some chats and get some perspective and really look at this specifically through the WDOE lens, and similarly, Michelle with IDWR, continuing those conversations just so that we can make sure that we're touching base frequently and having the chance for those critical conversations.
I appreciate that. Sounds good on our end.
Thanks, Patrick.
Yep, same here. Thank you.
Perfect, Michelle. Thank you. Mike, anything else to add on that?
I don't have anything else on that,
Okay.
so, but thank you.
Any questions or comments on that portion? All right. Well, with that, we've got our next meeting scheduled for January 18th. So it'll be in the new year, 2024. Hard to believe that that's going to be here. So unless anyone else has anything real pressing, we'll have a rapid meeting and get you guys out of here and wish y'all happy
On to the
holidays.
next gathering.
I mean, look, I appreciate how efficient you just ran this meeting.
This is
I know we all got stuff to do.
Great, the schedule's an hour and you're limited, you got half an hour to do stuff.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming.
You.
Oh,
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
It depends on the custom of the organization,
Yep.
but technically. no.
New Rogers rule says, Robert's rule says, you don't.
And I'm gonna
And there's a
I'm gonna
reason.
call
for
the
that.
meeting
You know what the reason is?
2:33.
If the meeting gets out of hand and everybody goes crazy, you can just say adjourn, and everybody.
Yeah.
That's why.
Everyone can bail if they need to bail.
Everybody just, they need to